This is Sweden's most wanted man, Rawa Majid. He is suspected of being the main leader of the Swedish criminal organization Foxtrot, which is linked to numerous shootings and bombings in Sweden. The violence has generally involved the Stockholm and Uppsala regions and was often carried out by children. Victims have included children, the relatives of rival criminals, former friends of Majid's, and many unintended targets. Majid is in conflict with several other criminal gangs, as well as former Foxtrot members. Since 2020, he is wanted internationally for major drug offences and the planning of murders, and has been named one of Sweden's most wanted criminals. Rawa Majid, a name that has become synonymous with mystery and fear in Sweden. From his humble beginnings to becoming one of the most elusive figures in the criminal world, Majid's story is not just about crime, but it's also a reflection of the challenges facing modern societies in dealing with organized crime. What led him down this path? How did he manage to elude capture for so long? These are some of the questions we'll explore today. Let's dive in and uncover the story of the man who has kept law enforcement on their toes and turned the Swedish underworld inside out. Rawa Majid's story begins in Iran, where he was born to Iraqi parents in 1986. His early years were spent in Uppsala, Sweden, a shift that marked the beginning of a significant transformation in his life. Initially, Majid was involved in small-scale business ventures. However, this seemingly innocuous start eventually led him down a darker path. His business activities gradually morphed into criminal endeavors, laying the foundation for his future as a prominent figure in Sweden's underworld. This shift from business to crime marked the beginning of Majid's notorious career, setting the stage for his eventual rise as a major criminal leader. Majid's transition from minor offenses to major criminal activities was a gradual but definitive shift. He started with relatively low-level crimes, including burglary and cigarette smuggling. But his ambitions and capabilities soon saw him escalate his activities. Majid's strategic acumen and ruthlessness became apparent as he climbed the ranks of the criminal world, eventually leading the notorious Foxtrot gang. His methods were not only innovative, employing modern technology and complex organizational structures, but also brutally efficient, often involving violence and intimidation. This combination of cunning strategy and unflinching brutality was key in expanding his influence in Sweden's underworld and establishing his formidable reputation.
One significant crime that Rawa Majid is believed to have been involved in was the planning and execution of a targeted murder. This crime, indicative of his strategic and ruthless approach, involved orchestrating a hit against a rival gang member, demonstrating the level of violence and organization within his criminal network. Imagine this: a lone figure, a 33-year-old man, believed to be associated with the Bandidos, walks down a narrow alley. He's returning from a local store, carrying a small bag of groceries, unaware of the danger lurking in the shadows. Hiding in the darkness are two figures clad in black, their faces obscured by hoodies. They are members of the Foxtrot network, sent on a mission under the orders allegedly given by Rawa Majid. They've been tracking the man, mistaking him for a high-ranking member of the Bandidos. As the man approaches his car, parked in a secluded spot, one of the assailants steps out from the shadows. The man stops, sensing danger. There's a tense silence, broken only by the distant sound of a dog barking. Assailant 1 whispering harshly, "Are you sure he's the one?" Assailant 2 nods, matches the description, "It's now or never." The man, sensing hostility, puts down his grocery bag and faces them. "Can I help you?" he asks, his voice steady but cautious. There's a moment of hesitation, then Assailant 1 pulls out a gun. The man's eyes widen in shock, realizing the gravity of the situation. He raises his hands slowly, trying to defuse the situation. "Man, I think you've got the wrong guy. I'm not who you think I am." Assailant 2, nervous and edgy, steps closer. "No more talking, sorry buddy, it's just business." Before any more words can be exchanged, a shot rings out, echoing through the alley. The man stumbles back, a look of disbelief on his face, and collapses to the ground. After some time, the sound of police sirens fills the air as the scene fades to black. Such acts not only reinforced his position within the criminal underworld, but also escalated the intensity and danger of gang-related activities in Sweden, contributing to his notoriety as a leading criminal figure. Rawa Majid's criminal activities had a significant impact on Swedish society. His operations with the Foxtrot gang led to an alarming increase in violence, particularly in the Stockholm and Uppsala regions. A particularly disturbing aspect was the involvement of children in these criminal acts, which included serious offenses like shootings and bombings. This trend not only raised concerns about the safety of communities, but also posed significant challenges to law enforcement agencies in Sweden, struggling to combat the rising tide of organized crime and protect vulnerable minors from being drawn into these dangerous activities. As of the latest information, Rawa Majid remains elusive, successfully evading capture by Swedish authorities. His current status is a matter of international concern, with efforts to apprehend him continuing across borders. This situation underscores the challenges faced by law enforcement in dealing with sophisticated transnational organized crime. Majid's ability to remain at large, despite being one of Sweden's most wanted criminals, highlights the complexities of global criminal networks and the need for enhanced international cooperation in combating such threats. His activities have had far-reaching implications, not only for Sweden's internal security, but also for the broader field of international criminal law enforcement. If you liked this video, consider liking and subscribing.